All right, starting a desert garden project again this year. It's been a few years since I bothered to garden in the desert due to it's not necessarily easy. It takes a little bit of effort, takes a lot of water, and I had a dog back in the day that made it kind of a pain in the butt. So I got out of gardening, but as you can see, I did have a gardening shed out here, and I'm always been a big fan of gardening. Grew up gardening. So this year, grabbed some of these little paper ice cube tray looking things. These are inexpensive. You get like 6 of them for $1. So wasn't really expensive. I just took a screen off an old screen door and put them all down there. Got a bunch of dirt in there and got them watered just to kind of get the dirt, some moisture in there. I did it old school. I didn't do anything fancy with the seeds. So I just sort of divided up the packets that I had purchased, mostly from a place called the Native Seed Search, which is a place here in Tucson that keeps heirloom seeds, native seeds, around and in circulation. That also has varieties that have traditionally grown in these climate conditions. So they should be decent producing varieties, or at least growing varieties. They actually don't produce a lot of fruit usually. But anyway, and then some of them just from the regular store. So as you can see, I'm a big fan of tomatoes. Got lots of different varieties of tomatoes. That's what most of the right side of the seedlings are. Unfortunately, I am not getting any tomatoes at all. So I should have grown my seeds indoors this year, much earlier in the year, I suspect. So I'm going to have to go buy some tomato plants, I guess. Next to those, I think, well, I'm not even sure. I'm going to have to watch this video again to see what order they're all put in. But the system I use is to fill up the little ice cube tray things of dirt, get them all wet and moist or whatever, then to put the seeds in, put another layer of dirt on top of those seeds, and then try to keep them all wet. I know a lot of people will keep these things wet from underneath. I just watered them from the top. Going to be an old school, and it kind of failed. And as I'm watching this, it looks like the first complete tray, the second complete tray are all tomatoes. This here was cucumbers, and then a row of spinach? No. I have to see what that was. Maybe wheat. I guess that's probably the wheat, and it's growing pretty good. Then it looks like some sweet corn, and that's just now popping up. And that was 2 rows. Then we had Indian corn. Good. So I'll have to make sure that some of that's growing. Next up is the watermelon. And these are a dark seed. I'm going to have to go see. It looks like I had just 1 row of those. And then these beans. I know the beans are just starting to come up now, so I'm going to have to check that out. After the beans, what was next there? I missed that. Looks like now is some spinach. Yeah, so a couple of 2 rows of spinach. And then 2 rows of kale, and I'm thinking all that's coming up. Then it was a bunch of sunflowers. Those are in the last 2 rows of that tray. And then it's a bunch of greens. So I don't know if that stuff's growing or not. And the tobacco was in this first row. That's not growing. That's not unusual. Tobacco's pretty hard to grow. This little white flowers are growing all over the place, so those are growing good. And then what is this? Oh, I didn't see what this last one was. Probably some other kind of flower. So this is what it was like for the first few days. I was taking it indoors and outdoors on this screen because I knew that there was going to be one more potential frost. And I was just watering them with this old water that's about 4 years old that somebody was going to throw away. So instead, I would just crack the cap, let it drip out, and basically try to be efficient and get water just on the ice cube trays. I think it was too late in the year or something for the tomatoes. I didn't get any tomatoes coming up, and we'll give you an update in future videos on how the other things are doing. Got a lot of wheat all over the place. Anyway, this was the attempt at the beginning of our desert garden this year. Stay tuned for more videos. Looking for some feedback. Is it worth the time to make the videos and post this? Let us know. And thanks for watching.